Welcome to the Remote Accountants and Income channel. I'm your host Vince, and today I've got an important tip for everybody as well as a job announcement time. Let's get right into the tip for everybody. Today's tip is on cover letters. For accountants and people in finance and people who are just applying for business-related positions, if you're sending off a cover letter to a potential client or a customer, there's a couple of things to remember when you're sending off cover letters. The first is make sure you know the correct person to send it to. That might seem to be pretty obvious for some folks, but often cases in big organizations, there's a lot of people that you could send cover letters to that might necessarily be the correct person within the department. So the one thing you want to really research on that is to make sure that you have the particular person in charge of recruiting that you have on that cover letter, their email address, or if you're kind of going old school and mailing it, that you be able to mail it to them. But most people email these, and so you have to make sure you have the right email address and their right title, the job title of that person, as well as the company information on there, maybe a company address. Also, when you're addressing that cover letter, make sure it says their name and say it in a professional way. So for instance, if it's like Jane Smith, you want to say, "Dear Jane Smith," and then you're going to go in your cover letter as you go into it. Make sure it's not just something that says "Dear Sir" or "Dear Madam" or something of that nature, because if you do that, it's going to look very generic, and they're going to think that it's going to be just a massed cover letter that you've sent everywhere. So make sure that you have that very specific. And another thing too, when you send cover letters off, in the subject line, make sure that you have the job, maybe job number or job description, to make it clear to them that you're referencing that job position that's open. So that's going to be another great thing when you send off the email, to show that in there. Now, if the cover letter is just an attachment on there, maybe in the body of the email that has the attachment, you could say, obviously in the subject line there, you could reference the job, and then when you get into the cover letter, that just starts off with the person you're contacting as well as the information you're giving them down below in the cover letter. The information down below, by the way, is just going to sell yourself. It's going to be about you. It's going to be about the open position and how you fit that role. And it's going to provide, in addition to that information, your resume to be able to submit your experience and your education so that you can get that job. So keep those tips in mind, again, guys, that you have the right person to contact, the right email address, the right company information, that the subject line itself is very specific to the job, that in the cover letter itself, or even in the email, if you have an email that has a cover letter attached to it, that you have the correct person spelled out on there, again, "Dear Jane Smith," and then the information down below is going to be very specific to the job, so it doesn't look like something that's just emailed off to a million people. So keep all those points in mind. The reason why that's important is people sometimes do the opposite of that, and they have one cover letter that they send off to like 15, 20 different people, and it comes off as very generic. People that read those understand that, hey, this person's just sending this everywhere, that they're just trying to get a job wherever. They're not very specific to the role that needs to be filled. And so the more specific you are, the better you're going to be at in terms of getting that role for yourself. And again, after you send that information off, have an attachment that you use for your resume, that you can get in there and include a proper resume on there that sells all your information. Again, your experience, your education, your skills, your certifications, things like that. These tips, by the way, guys, are a part of my Career Tours video tutorial. The tutorial is much more in-depth, much longer. You can send me a comment down below or give me a personal message on Facebook if you're interested in that video. There's a small charge for that, but I make it affordable, and I also have a deal too where we can talk about how best to work it out with you. So in any case, that's the tip today. Hope it's useful for you guys. Today is Monday, January. It's going back here several months. Monday, June 13th. Almost 1 p.m. here, Pacific Standard Time. Today at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be doing a job announcement on my group. It's the Remote Accounting and Bookkeeping, and the businesses hiring them. So guys, check that out. That's there on Facebook. That link is there down below. As always, guys, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. On this channel, make sure you hit the like button on there, so that way you guys, it helps me out, but it also, with the subscribe button, helps keep you guys informed about my new videos. The way that this works, guys, is on this YouTube channel, I post about these job opportunities. They're not my own jobs, so you always have to do your own research, your own emails and personal messages. But I use this YouTube channel to post the times I do that on there. And then the Facebook group, you guys can go on there and see the jobs themselves. And again, today at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be posting about that job. That you can see that on the Facebook group. That link is there down below. So just to let you guys know, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, take a look out for the jobs. There's going to be a lot of different jobs coming through. It's been a few days since I've posted those. I try to do several a week. Sometimes I get busier in a week. I've got a lot of things going on with. I'm an accountant myself, been an accountant for many years, so I've got my own clients and things that I manage. And so what's one of the benefits for you guys on this channel and as well in my Facebook group is that I try to make it clear to you guys as best as I can as an accountant how best you guys can sell yourselves, get positions, get promotions, things like that to help you guys out. And so my group is all about that. My YouTube channel is all about that. Make it very clear for you guys. So anyway, I'll wrap this video up, guys. I hope that tip is good for you. I hope you guys are on the group there on Facebook for that job time at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, that you find a position, ask about those positions, make sure it's credible, make sure it's a good fit for you. And yeah, just keep it up. And for some of you who are struggling to find a job, just keep putting yourself out there, keep making it specific in terms of when you're applying for a job, selling yourself to that position. And if you keep doing it over and over again, it's just a numbers game, guys. You will find a person that's going to work with you. You get a job hiring, and then you can build your resume up kind of like a snowball effect where you start off small, it gets bigger as you go. So again, it's just a numbers game. The more you put yourself out there, the more you do that, the more clients you eventually sign up with, the better off you're going to be with your experience and about understanding about how best to build your client base. So guys, hope this helped you out. I'll check you in the next video, and take care here.